Hey everybody, you're watching Cad Roll Hunter, and I have a box of quarters, $500 in quarters for us to hunt. Hey folks, it's James here, and you're watching my channel, Cad Roll Hunter, and I've got a box of quarters. You'll remember my last box was an ARP, Alloy Recovery box. We didn't find much in there. We didn't even find much color, which I thought we might. We did not so great. This time I made sure to check before I left the bank with the box that it was customer wrapped rolls. Anything goes in here. We're hoping to find some silver, some old stuff. Maybe we'll find some color and some commemoratives. Maybe we'll find some BU beauties. And we're hoping to upgrade our Lighthouse Vista album, or maybe fill our spot or two if we can. It's going to get tough because we're really looking for silver to fill spots and some really rare, not circulating coins. So let's dig in and see if we can find some beauties. Second coin of roll number one gives us something to check. We've got one of those 1973 RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police Commemoratives. We flip it over. We're always looking to see if this is the large bust, which is very rare and very valuable, or the small bust. And I can tell, because I've looked at a lot of these, this is the small bust. We'll take a peek on the scope and we'll look at the details you want to be checking. All right, here's an up close and personal look at the obverse of the coin. And there are two things in particular you're looking at. How much detail there is in the hair. The small bust, the common variety, has lots of detail, fine lines in the hair. And then also how close these beads are to the rim. The small bust that we have here, these beads are fairly far away from the rim. In the large bust, they're tucked right up close to the rim. And if you want to be sure, take a 1972 because it features the large bust. That's the one you want to compare it to. If it looks the same as a 1972, you've got a winner. And speaking of winners, just a few coins later, we've got a gorgeous 2008 color poppy. Check that out. It looks to be in pretty nice condition. That is our first color in our first roll, and it is a beauty. And it looks like we're going to have another beauty here. This is a 2009 Olympic. We'll see which one it is. It is the speed skating, but this one is in gorgeous condition. And I hold all of the really nice ones and put them in my collection. I tube them up, try to put some sets together. And this one is definitely a keeper. Look at that. And still in roll number one, we're going to have an American. This is really common, of course, here in Canada. People roll up their change, and these circulate pretty well in Canada. This one is a more modern Philadelphia minted. We'll flip it over, and it is a New York State quarter from 2001, minted out of Philadelphia. Cool. I've laid out roll number two, and looking, of course, always at the edges to see if we can spot silver. No silver in this roll for sure, but there are definitely a couple American edges. You can see that copper on the edge there. Two of them, one on the end and one a little further back. We'll take a peek and see what those are and see if there's any goodies in here too. Well, both of these quarters in here are relatively older. We got a 1970 Denver on the left, and then this other one with the eagle is a Denver minted 1981. So both the older design with Washington and the eagle here on the reverse. All right, we're about halfway through roll number two. We've got a 2013 Commemorative, and this gives us a shot for color. This is a War of 1812 commemorative, so we'll flip it over and see. And we do have color. It is a DeSalleberry War of 1812, and you can see that red enamel in the maple leaf. Very cool. Roll number seven, we're going to have a year 2000 commemorative. In 1999 and in the year 2000 to mark the turn of the millennium, each month had a different commemorative quarter. This one from 2000 is community. We'll flip it over. Some of these have rotated dies, some that might be on a 90 degree. You'll want to check them. There's specific ones. The coinsincanada.com website gives you all of the information you need to know on which ones to look for. This one here, it's not in great shape. If this was in really good condition, I would hold on to it, of course. But this one, it's just going back. Roll number nine, we're going to have another Millennium Commemorative. Let's just flip it over and see what we got here. This is the 2000 family, in pretty decent shape too. Same roll, and we're going to have a 2011 Peregrine Falcon, the non-color version. There's another version where this sun behind the falcon is colored, and we want to look for that as well. Roll 10 is going to be our third colorized coin. It's this 25-cent Canada from 2006 with the pink ribbon. It's pretty worn off. Might not be a keeper, of course, unless you didn't have one in your collection, but I have more than a few. Same roll, and this one here is definitely a keeper. Look at that. It is gorgeous. This one is from 2013. This is that Arctic expedition. And there are two versions of this with some level of frosting on the details. You'll see here, this one has the explorers' outfits frosted. There's another version where the frosting is along the compass at the top. And this one looks to be in gorgeous, gorgeous condition. This is a keeper. It might be an album upgrader for sure. Check that out. Really nice. Just at the end of roll number 12, and we've got a 1999 commemorative. This one here is July. That's a beauty too. That's really nice. We'll set that aside. And then we've got an American here. This is just our fourth. This one is a Philadelphia minted, and it is a New Jersey from 1999. Roll 13, and there is a beautiful 2015 Poppy, the non-color version. We're in roll number 14. We're going to have our fifth US. It's a 2016 Harper's Ferry, and there are a few varieties we can look for on this particular coin. I know there's a doubled die on, particularly on the Philadelphia. We'll have to flip it over to see if this is, and it is the P, so we can look for the doubled die. Other varieties include some die chips, like there's a snow on the roof, a cat on the roof. There's also some feeder finger errors you can find on here. So let's scope this bad boy and see if we've got any of those. So here it is under the scope. The things that we might be looking for, there are the kind of snow on the roof or cat on the roof varieties with die chips along the roof line. That's not what we've got here at all, but I think we have a die variety. And I want you to check these windows right here. I see some lines in there. There are over 100 doubled dies for this reverse that are recognized on Wexler's dievarieties.com website, or doubleddie.com is what it is. I can't reach that site right now to actually verify which one it is. So hopefully by the time I finish editing this video, I'll be able to identify exactly which variety this is. But a lot of these double dies you can see doubling in these windows, and this is a very specific doubled die here that we could probably identify with these lines in these two windows and a little bit of a square there. Very, very cool. I've seen these ones before. I have one in my collection, that trade with Greg, but I've never actually found one on my own, and I'm going to set that aside. That is a really, really cool find. A 2016 die variety. It is a doubled die on this Harper's Ferry quarter. Roll 15, here's another nice one you can find. This is the Hope for a Green Future quarter. This one's lightly circulated. You can see there's some frosting on these hands. And there is a colorized version of this coin where each of these animals has some color elements on it. So very, very cool. This one has the Ring of Death on the obverse you can see from the coin wrapping machine at some point in time. So it's not a keeper. We want to find one in really nice condition, and they're out there. Roll number 16, and we're going to have something here. I have no idea what this is. I don't recognize this reeded edge. It's different. I can't tell what that is, so we're going to have to lay this bad boy down here and see what that is. It's 10 pence from Great Britain. Let's see what the year is. It's from 1992, and as I laid it down, I could feel that it was just slightly larger than a quarter, but just a tiny bit. That's really cool. From the United Kingdom, 10 pence from 1992 in a Canadian quarter roll. Same roll, and here's a really nice looking 2009. You'll see the date 2006 on the obverse. This is commemorating Cindy Clausen's gold medals in the 2006 Olympic Winter Games. But if you flip it over, you'll see it was minted in 2009. And we can also find this one in color with that maple leaf all red. Roll number 18, we've got a 1978. It's actually in pretty nice condition, and there are two varieties we can find on the 78s. There's a large denticle and a small denticle. Let's take a closer look. All right, this is very definitely the large denticle. These denticles don't look all that big, but the small denticle, they would appear like just tiny little beads along the edge there. These ones are actually fairly large compared to what we would see. You can see they really kind of stick out as lines there. The small denticles are somewhat less common than the large denticle, and you'll want to look out for both of these, of course. Roll number 19 is our second breast cancer 2006 color, and only our fourth so far for the box, so we're running pretty light so far. We're in roll number 22, and we found a really beautiful one here. This is with the Tiara portrait of Queen Elizabeth. This could be an album upgrader. We're going to have to flip it over to see what it is. And that is a gorgeous looking 1981. That is definitely a keeper and very possibly an upgrader for the album. Okay, just a little further back, and we might have a little bit of a collection dump perhaps, because here is another one that is remarkably good. We'll have to see this one too. That is a 1985, another keeper for sure. It almost has a bit of a proof-like sort of finish to it, like that, almost a mirror finish on the surface, but that's another beauty. Still in that roll, here's another one, and they're just intermingled with other ones. This is an 84, so we're getting some really nice 80s coins. That's a gorgeous one. And check this out, it's a 1969, also in great condition. And that, again, could be an upgrader, definitely a keeper. 1 year off of silver. Wouldn't that have been awesome? And they just keep on coming. What do we got this time? This one is a 1971. Just look at that. I just opened up roll number 23, and it's the very next roll after we got 5 beautiful coins from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And we have found something here I have never seen before. I think we have got a proof quarter. Check that out. Look at that frosted cameo finish, and the one right behind it looks like it could be 2, and possibly even the one behind that for sure. Check this out. That is a 1987, definitely a proof. That is just crazy. And right behind it, an 86, and we absolutely have a collection dump in here. That is just incredible. Look at that. I've never, ever found proof quarters in my coin roll hunts, and that is just awesome. And I have to wonder what else might be in this roll. Of course, we've just got some other assorted things, like there's a 2021. Somebody's mixed these in with other coins. There's a pretty nice looking 1981. We might pull that aside. It's got some circulation wear, maybe not a keeper, but hopefully there's something else in here, and maybe in some of these other rolls too. I got these rolls not as a full box, in bundles. I got them from banks. So sometimes, like, some of these might be from the same customer. We would like to hope anyhow, but there could be more in this roll. And we're going to have at least one more. Here is 1978. That is just in gorgeous condition as well. I don't know what the story is here, but I'm happy to add these to my collection if somebody didn't want to keep them in theirs. Here's another proof, or proof-like. It's got that frosted finish. That's a 1986. Just incredible. So we got two 86s and an 87 with that frosted cameo finish. This one's not going to be a proof, but it's going to be another nice quarter. This is a 1999 September. And even this 2001 behind here, we might see these in good shape regularly, but that's actually in pretty nice shape. It's got the P composition mark, meaning it's the more common of the 2001s, but maybe we'll just check and see if this upgrades at all the one in our binder, because this one here doesn't seem to have any circulation wear. Roll 16, and here we go again. There's a 1979. It just seems like somebody has taken a collection of really beautiful quarters and just dumped them in rolls and took them to the bank. It's really a shame, but that's one of the things I'm really happy to do, is sort of save these from poor fate, which would have been just getting into circulation and being, I don't know, just worn right down like a quarter that's been in the wild since 1979. So I'm so happy to add these to my collection. With all of these beautiful quarters that we're finding, it does beg the question, did they have anything from 1968 or earlier that was silver that they decided to just wrap up, not knowing what they had? Let's just cross our fingers and hope that's the case. Roll 17, we've finally found our first provincial commemorative from 1992, and it's a really nice one. It's a Manitoba. That is a keeper, absolutely. Roll number 32, and we've done it again. If I just pan down here, we will see another proof, and it's our third 1986 proof with that frosted finish on both sides. Just gorgeous. And wow, 4 proofs in one box so far in a couple of rolls. What else is going to be in here? Same roll, and it's not going to be a proof this time, but this is going to be a gorgeous 1977 in just amazing condition, obviously from the same collection as all these others we've been finding. Just fantastic. And the immediate next coin is actually a colorized one. It is the Orca with that blue color, so that's pretty cool too. That is only our 5th color in the box. A little bit further behind, we're going to have another nice one. What's this one? This one is, a gorgeous 1973. And it's definitely the small bust, so it's not going to be the large bust, really rare one. If we found one in here, that would be absolutely incredible. And they keep coming. There is a 76. I wonder if we're going to find in these rolls an entire collection from 69 and up. It looks like so far that's what's happening. Roll 44, we're going to have another beauty. This one's a commemorative. If I flip it over, it's the 2000 Ingenuity. That's a good one for the collection. Roll 36 is going to have our third 2006 colorized coin and our sixth, I believe, color in total. Maybe our seventh. And this one, pretty worn in the middle, not a keeper, but that's color for the board anyhow. Roll number 39, we got another 2006. This is our fourth. This one, a little bit nicer than the last one, but still you can see where that enamel is starting to wear off by circulation. That's our fourth of this hunt of this particular coin. And our 4, 5, 6, 7th, 8th color. Roll number 40, and there is a beauty, a 2000 Community. This is one we want to check to see if it's got a rotated die. This one does not, but it's a nice one. It's a keeper. I've just laid down roll number 40 and have a look at what I see here. It looks like we've got a whole roll of uncirculated Vancouver 2010 Commemoratives. All the edges that I can see look flawless, and they're all Olympic Commemoratives. We'll just take a look at this first one here. It's a gorgeous figure skating or ice dancing, I can never remember which. And it looks like every single one in here is going to be a BU, Brilliant Uncirculated Commemorative. That's incredible. Well, have a look in here. Here's a 2009. We'll just see if this is the color one or not. And it is. We got the men's hockey. It looks like it's the Infused 2. There are two varieties here on the colorized version, an Infused 2, which is common, and a Raised 2, which I haven't found yet, but is findable. Let's take a closer look at this one. All right, so there's a closer look. There is that 2. You can see it sort of carved into the skate on the thigh of the skater here. The Raised 2, you wouldn't see this sort of outline around the 2, and that's one I haven't found and I really want to find. But this is really incredible. What I'm going to do, because it looks like these are all in gorgeous shape, I'm just going to separate them all out so we can see what we actually got in this roll. If there's more color, I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. Well, I just had to show you this because I just did a few coins here. I'm separating them all out here by the variety. And there's another color, this time the Cindy Clausen. Gorgeous. Well, check that out. That's incredible. We got 2 complete sets of these Vancouver 2010. We got at least 2 of all 12 of these coins. And we got 1 each of the color to Cindy Clausen. None of the non-color versions. So that's 40 brilliant uncirculated commemorative Olympic quarters we got in that one roll. Incredible. And just in case we weren't certain that we'd stumbled into a collection dump, I just laid down this next roll. This is roll 42. And it starts off with some Mounties, but it's not just that. There's provincials here, including the low mint New Brunswick. It looks like every single one of these is going to be commemoratives. There's provincials in here. I'm going to go through and separate this out and let you know if there's anything extra special cool in here. Crazy. Well, I've separated that out, and look, you'll see that we got a couple of colorized. We got 2 2004 poppies. We got a bunch of provincials, 2 of the low mint New Brunswick, some really nice Millennium ones, a poor condition circulated 1981 that was in here. I don't know why. That's interesting. A couple of 1995s. I'll just check and see if that one of those might upgrade the album. More than half of the roll were 1973 commemoratives. And of course, as I'm looking through them, I'm looking to see the difference between the large bust and the small bust. And this is what I saw. I found this one on the right here in this roll while I was looking through all those 73s. It is very clearly the large bust. You can see the difference. You can see the lack of hair detail. You can see the beads are really close to the rim. But when I flipped it over, it was a 1972. It was the only 72 in there. The only other one other than these 3 over here that were a caribou that weren't the RCMP. So my heart skipped a beat for a moment until I flipped it over to find it was the 72. If we found a 73 with this obverse, even in this condition, that would be an exceptional find. Roll number 45 doesn't appear to be part of that collection dump, but it's going to give us some Olympic color. We've got another women's hockey commemorative with the red maple leaf. Same roll, there's another color, 2004. It is not as brilliant as the other ones we found at part of that collection dump, but it's color for the board. Roll 46, and I have a 1978 under the scope, and I just want you to see these denticles. Look at how small these are. This is the 1978 small denticle. This is the less common of the two. Not rare necessarily, but definitely less common than the large denticle version. Here's roll number 49. We're going to have a couple more US we can see, but check out the end. We got a 2006, more color for the board. Well, there's a look at roll number 50, and I don't see any silver edges, so we got shut out from silver, but we certainly didn't get shut out from fines. They're spilling off the side of the mat here. We got tons of stuff to look through, so even if we don't get anything here, we got a lot of things to review. Let's take a peek and see if we got any last finds in the very last roll. All right, nothing doing in that last roll. That hunt is complete. I'm just going to organize these finds so we can make sense of all of the crazy cool stuff we found. Well, that was a crazy cool hunt, and it just shows that you don't actually have to get silver to find an incredible box. This quarter box was awesome. We got so many cool, crazy things. Let's just take a look, and I've already forgotten. I got so excited about the collection that we did find some cool things early on. We got a stack of Americans here, including what is a 2016 Harper's Ferry with the doubled die reverse, which is seriously cool. We also got a foreign. We got a 10 pence from Great Britain. And then this is where things got really crazy. We got a lot of collection items here. We got a whole bunch of the 1973s. I'm only going to keep the very best if there are any worth keeping. None of them were the large bust, of course. We got a whole bunch of Olympics. We got at least a couple in total uncirculated BU condition of each of the 12 varieties of these 2007 to 2009 Olympics. We got a bunch of the 2009 men's, women's hockey and the Cindy Clausen, but we got a bunch of the color ones there too. Some other ones that early on I thought might be ones to look at the album to see if we've got an upgrader. I'm not so sure. They kind of pale in comparison to some of the ones we're going to look at in a second. We got a bunch of different commemoratives to look at as well. And let's move to the color. We ended up getting 17 color coins, and the ones that came in that collection dump were in fantastic shape, particularly these Olympic commemoratives here, and a couple of these 2004 poppies were just incredible. But we got a range of them all the way up to the War of 1812. Where things got really, really cool are these coins we got in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. There's a 69, a 71, 73. We got a 76, 77, 78, 79, 81, 84, 85. These are just in uncirculated condition. They could even be proof-like from sets. You'd have to think they might have been. And then I think our coolest and best finds are my first ever proof coins. We got a 1986, another 1986, yet another 1986, and a 1987. Simply incredible. And in case you were wondering if any of these proofs were silver, you'll see that they're all magnetic. And so they are nickel. They're nickel proofs. They're not silver, but these are still incredibly cool finds. Of course, we need to check and see if any of these are going to upgrade in our album. I have a feeling that some of them might very well do that. Let's take a peek. So I pulled out our Lighthouse Vista quarter album, and we are sitting at 148 of 171 spots here. And a lot of the spots we need to fill, of course, are these silver spots. We've got 6 out of the 17 silver. You can see them all on this page here, and I apologize for the glare. We didn't get any new additions to the album. We didn't expect that, but we did absolutely get some upgraders. We found some really nice ones. That 69 we got today, that was an upgrader. That 71 was an upgrader. We upgraded the 78 large denticle, and we updated the, over here, the 81, the 84, those were good. And we also updated one in the 90s. We updated the 96 on the bottom corner of this page. So this album is looking really good. A lot of these other coins that we got, especially these Olympics, they were all beautiful coins. We pretty much had a beautiful BU example in all of those spots. So we didn't really upgrade anything. I'm going to look through all of these finds and see what is worth keeping. But there were a lot of beautiful coins. And of course, we got those proof coins, which just crazy. I've never seen before in a coin roll hunt, and I'm really happy about that. I hope you enjoyed this quarter hunt and album fill. If you did, please give the video a like. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, CAD Roll Hunter, please do that now. Just hit the button and you'll be notified when I've got new videos coming out. I have new videos coming out all the time. So thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate it. We'll see you again next time.